Good evening and welcome to Men. And tonight on Men, we discuss the third wheel issue. How close should our friends be to our relationships? How close should we let them? How much can we trust them? As always, I've got my musketeers with me, Joseph and Ransom. And we've got our guests tonight, who's Conrad and Charles. Guys, I always like to say that people exist in societies and communities. You know, they affect and are affected by the people and things around them. And you know, when you've got friends, and you know how it is when you let your friends get into your relationships. What we're investigating tonight is the third wheel issue, the third party in relationships and in affairs, and how close should these people get? I want to start with you, Charles. What do you think?
Well, I look at it from the Christian perspective. I think friends should be really, really close to you because of a number of reasons. One, I mean, you've had people actually entrusting their friends with a number of, crucial things in their lives. I mean, let's look at the issue of wills, for instance. When people pass on, many a time, I mean, besides, the lawyers who are, I mean, with all due respect to the lawyers, who are not, trusted by some people at times, you find a number of people actually putting that trust in friends to actually do that really, really cardinal role. Then friends can be people that you can fall back on when everything, around you seems to be crumbling. So in that regard, I really feel, you need to bring them really close. And lastly, from the business side of things, I mean, I'm a believer in partnerships in business. And I also believe that, for someone to really succeed and hit that high point, you really need people around you. You need partners. You need friends in business. So friends can complement you. They can take you places in business and other aspects of life. So on that note, I feel it wouldn't hurt really if you brought them close 100%. So
maybe they can also complement your relationship. Take it to that sport.
Yes, in the sense that they can give you good counsel.
Okay. Okay. Conrad, you're a young man, you're living the life, as they say.
As they say.
Raging all the time.
Not really.
On the hormone high.
Really?
What is it like where you come from?
The third wheel. What is a third wheel? As in friends, or?
For once, Colin has failed to really articulate the question in a way that I can just imagine if he wasn't the host today, how he would have put it. Basically, if you are in a relationship with a girl, how close would you or should you allow your friends to get close to your girl or to be part of your relationship as the third wheel?
As a third wheel.
Or how close should her friends be to your relationship?
The 80-20% rule applies here. The girl takes 80%, then the friends take 20%. Because the 80% is what you need, and that's the relationship. The 20% is what you might want.
Which are your friends.
Which are your friends.
Not to misinterpret that rule.
Joseph, you seem to have a different take on the rule.
No, he's talking about the 80-20, but the assumption is the 20% sometimes is more equivalent to the 80%. So anyway, talking about the third wheel, is that where you're going with this? Is this just friends that we're talking about, or any other party, any other third party?
Well, third parties, because sometimes
family.
It could be family, it could be relatives,
yeah.
It could be friends.
Yes.
Sometimes it could even be workmates. Because
business partners.
With the way we work, you end up spending 10, 12 hours a day with these people.
Yeah.
So third parties in your relationships, how does that go?
When I know someone's friends, my partner's friends, it gives me a better indication of who they are as a person.
Exactly.
Okay? Because you might have this partner and you're wondering, how are they friends with the other person? Because they seem so different. You wouldn't even touch the other person with a stick. You understand? So you're wondering how come these two are friends? You can even get worried because of that. Yeah. I like to know other people's friends. I like to know other people's people, and I would like them to know my people. And I'm talking about serious relationships. Yeah.
And so what you're saying is that you would let these people into, you would give them fairly good space in to play in and around. And I don't mean play in terms of denigrate the value of the relationship, but I mean play in terms of interaction in your relationship.
For example, I'd like to know my partner has a confidant. Yeah?
Yes.
Because there are actually things that are going to happen in your relationship that you may not be able to resolve, just the two of you. I like to know that there's someone they can go and talk to. Yeah? And maybe that person can put things in perspective for them. That could be anyone, their father, their mother, their best friend, or whatever. So,
all right.
I don't know if that answers your question.
I hear you.
Maybe I can chip in there. Sorry. I'm a believer, like I said, of bringing these people as close as you can. For one reason. Let me give you an example of in-laws, which I know a number of people would want to keep a distance from in a number of relationships. I mean, let's say it's your wife's brother or sister. You know, if you keep these people close, you actually get to know what your partner is capable of, you know, and what to really prepare for, you know, behind the scene. Because we all know that much as, you know, people, you know, try to open their hearts and tell you that, you know, this is me, there's always that bit that a number of people will keep to themselves.
The insanity in the family.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Ransom, maybe you can give us your understanding of,
you know what,
of how close these people should be.
Yeah, I think, you know, depending on who they are, there are varying degrees of closeness that you should allow into your relationship. But you should always remember that it is your relationship. It's not your relationship with 10, 15 other people. Ultimately, you can pack up and move to another continent halfway around the world, and it's just the two of you. You know what I mean? And you need to be able to handle your relationship as much as possible between the two of you, which is not to say don't have friends. I believe in having mutual friends, as many mutual friends as possible. I believe in a situation where in the courtship process and whatnot, you get to know each other's friends. Yes, you might have one friend there that are not part of a mutual friendship thing, but as you get into marriage, I think it helps to have a group of mutual friends, yeah, so that you don't have the worries of some unknown quantity pitching up from, you know, the shadows. That's usually where problems start.
Yes.
Where you have a singular friend that's there and they're friends with your partner, and that's where you run the risk of things happening that might disrupt or derail your relationship.
Yeah.
As far as relatives, I think it's important to be as close to relatives as possible, you know, especially in a marriage. But friends, yes, but allowing them in to interfere is a problem. Seek advice sometimes, but each person, each spouse within the marriage should be able to keep their relatives at bay, yeah, to stop interference, whether it's from a father, a mother, brother, or whatever.
Okay.
You need to be able to say, you know what, okay, it's cool, just that's the place where you stop, we'll take it from here as our relationship.
Oh yeah. Now, just to narrow it down, because I feel like all of a sudden it's just gone very broad. We've put relatives and colleagues and workmates. I want to try and narrow it down and keep it to friends. And then I want us to, because what's happening now is in relationships. And I know that, you know, a lot of people out there are going through this because I have gone through it. And I'm not saying that I am the example of what's happening out there, but
it's your friend.
No, I have a friend.
You have a friend.
No, because we have a friend who, you know, you hear about these stories and you think they're horror stories. I'm a friend with Peter. You know, we're best friends. We've been friends for years. You know, Peter, I said to Peter, yo, Peter, you know, why don't you Are you going home? Yeah, I'm still working. Why don't you, you know, pass by, drop some milk at the house? Are you coming to town? So I'm out of town. Could you, you know, pick my wife and drop them in town on your way in, or the kid needs to go to school, or something like that. And then out of that closeness, our friendship, you end up having guys like now. I then end up losing my wife to Peter's wily charms, you know, or because that's happening.
Which Peter are you talking about again?
It's just an
I'm
example.
just like
It could be Thomas.
Did you say Thomas?
Thomas is wily charms.
You know what? I think it's dangerous for anyone to abdicate their responsibilities too often to another party. It can even be your brother. Yeah?
That also.
It is dangerous.
Brothers who are just too
This
smooth.
business of thinking, you know what, he's my homie, he's my homie. You know, one of the things that you find, especially with the ladies, yeah? They really talk up their men. Yeah? A lot of times, ladies will tell their friends, my guy is like this, he's like that, he's like this. And their friends really get interested.
And jealous.
And jealous, yes. That
When they
happens,
still like you.
you know? And now if you start abdicating your responsibility, you've talked up this guy to be the perfect thing, and you start abdicating your responsibilities, you're away and you're saying go check, go check, go check.
Make sure he eats, make sure
Yeah,
he's...
you're opening a door that you shouldn't be opening. By the same token, I think it's important for a guy to be able to deal with his business, whether it's your brother or your best friend or whatever, because those are the guys who know the most about you. They know the most about your spouse because they're close. If you start abdicating your responsibilities to people, just know that there might be some other responsibilities you might abdicate without knowing it.
Conrad, have you just okay, Joseph, go.
And girls do this a little more often. You see, when you talk up someone, sometimes you want to
Test.
No. You talk up someone, sometimes you want that person to experience for themselves. Yeah, this.
I mean, like proof of life.
as in you talk up this guy is a nice guy, he will do this and that, and then you will even let your friend go there just to
Experience.
to have that experience, just a bit of it, so she can come back and say, by the way, you're lucky. Which is for me, which is totally wrong. But we're talking about two different scenarios here. Your partner could have friends who are not even your friends, yeah, but you know they are her support team. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have a partner who does not have friends. Yeah, you need sometimes someone to take off the loads. I know your partner is supposed to be like, you're supposed to be like your primary partner.
Of course.
Yep. But there is things,
There
for
can't
example,
be a secondary partner. There's only you can't say primary because I mean the tertiary and
there is and these don't have to be men. They can be girls. Someone she calls and tells about her nails, about the guy in the salon. Okay, she will tell you about these things, but you can't hear about every single thing that goes on in her life. It might become now too much a burden for you to deal with. So if someone has those people, okay, it's nice once in a while for someone to tell you I'm having a bad day, or to tell you when they have come from work. But someone they talk to during the day, yeah, to get through the day.
They talk to you. You're their partner. That's why you're their partner, so they can talk to you during the day. So the offload at the end of the day doesn't happen because you've been getting it blow by blow.
Okay, you tell me something. With your partner, do you tell them everything that happens in your life?
I will answer that question right after the break. We are here at the Kampala Sheraton Hotel, enjoying this beautiful suite. Send us an SMS. We want to hear from you. So send us an SMS on 6565. Write us an email on men@ntvuganda.co.ug. Like our page on Facebook at NTV Men, and follow us on Twitter at NTV_men, and we'll guarantee you a follow back. Again, we'll see you right after the break.